I love these basses. P-bass really became, as far as I know with most of the guys, the standard for basses. It's just like a great workhorse.
This is the only bass I've ever really wanted to play. I have what I need, and I have what I love.
It's just got that sound that you want to hear. I can trust that it's going to sound good.
When I was 12 years old, I started studying upright. It was a challenge because there were electric pianos at that point, maybe a Wurlitzer or something like that, and drums and electric guitars. And I'm up there flailing away on that upright bass, just, bleeding away. And I just thought, something has to change here because this is really unacceptable for me. Initially, when the electric instruments started making the scene, and this one really raised the bar considerably. It was a real head twist for a lot of players. They really weren't quite sure how to approach this.
We did gigs on the upright. We made records on the upright. And then here comes this new instrument, and it's like, what is this?
You'd see pictures of early bass players, and they were still playing it like they were still playing an upright. It was hard to let go of your training and your tradition.
Yeah, I think after they got used to it, they weren't just playing jazz anymore. It's this new world that opened up to them. It wasn't just one thing anymore. There's country music. There was pop music. There was R&B music, funk music, or whatever. They had to get used to doing all these different things on this Fender instrument now that they couldn't do on an upright.
I'm absolutely appreciative of what Leo Fender created, and it really made the lives of bass players change. It made the lives of an audience change, where there was a guy up there just kind of thumping away, and you were getting the thump, but you weren't getting the tonality of it. And all of a sudden, the audience was going, what's that? What's that? You're not just the guy going boom, 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 boom up there. I go, no, actually, we've got some notes going on, too. It really changed all of our lives as bassists. I would see all these players around town, especially in L.A., too. L.A. was in the 60s was a remarkably vibrant, vital town musically. I got to see the Beatles live and Jimi Hendrix and the Doors and all these people. They were in all the local clubs. I mean, it was unbelievable. And so many times I'd look up there and I'd see a P-bass, and I would just go, something about that. And then when I started looking into like the history of it and started looking at the Jamersons and the Duck Dunns and all of the different guys, the David Hoods and all these amazing players whose playing I was so enamored with. Saw them all, pictures of them playing P-basses.
When I started playing P-bass, I was hearing this sound on records anyway, because I've always wanted to make records. I was hearing this thick, rich sound, and it had a profound effect on how I play coming from the upright bass. It inspires me to play the way I play, the way it sounds, the way it feels. I've played on a lot of different records, and I've played lines on records that I wouldn't probably play it this way if it was another bass. This bass has given me, the ability to go places that I can go at any time I want to go.
I was really lucky. At one point, I got to play Duck Dunn's bass. And I'm just sitting there playing this, and I'm just kind of sucking in all the vibes and energy that thing had. I'm always happy when I get to play this. It's one of those things that just feels right as soon as you pick it up. I mean, I could be blind and play this. These are like an extension of this. So you just go ahead and play, and you're not looking down at it. You're connecting with the audience, and you got that relationship going. And this facilitates that, makes it a whole lot easier. And it's really bitchin'.
I went to work with Herbie Hancock. Was 1977. That was my first professional job. I knew then that my P bass, this bass here, was a huge deal because I got to play with Herbie Hancock. And it was the sound, and it continued to be the sound. And you can still go back and hear records I've done with him, and people still get excited about that. Back then, I knew it was a huge deal because I never put it down. This bass, Fender Precision, when I first got it, I got the card from a store called Leo's Music. And it was, on the card, it was 1972 Fender Precision.
Right.
But years later, I found out it was a 1973. So I was a year off.
Stock pickup.
Yeah.
And that's
absolutely.
the hit machine.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not vintage.
Well,
but
it is now.
I think I made it vintage.
Well, yeah, you did. Yeah, but 1973 is
it's a really good
53 years
year.
ago.
Yeah, absolutely. It served me very well.
I feel the same way.
Absolutely.
Well, my bass is a 1959 Precision bass, kind of a rare bird because it's a transition year where they went from the all maple neck to a rosewood fingerboard in the same year.
Nice.
Most of the P basses are alder, and this is ash.
Yes.
And you can see in the grain with the see-through finish. It just has a certain thump to it that some of my other P basses don't have. And these strings are super old. They came off of a bass that I bought in like 1971 or 2. They were on that bass, my 64 P bass. And I put it on this in about 79 or 80 or so.
Just leave it
so
on.
They've been on ever since.
Okay.
So that's 40 years old.
There you go.
They were probably stock on the 64 P bass because they came off that. So anyway, that's the story on this. It's just a good chunk of wood with some wires on it.
There you go. But it's the guy behind it.
Because everybody's going to sound different.
Absolutely. Different touches, lighter touches, stronger touches.
Pick or whatever.
Absolutely.
So I like this bass a lot.
Incredible, man.
To bring it to pay homage to the great Fender Precision bass that we both love.
Absolutely. I started with this, and I'm going to end with this.
Fender bass is like the bass you think of when you pick a bass.
Absolutely. Now check this out. So we do sessions. When they bring in charts,
Yeah.
They write on the charts. Fender bass.
Yeah, Fender bass.
Fender
back
bass.
In the day,
Yeah, back in the day,
chart said
they're right. Fender bass.
I used to see Fender bass with felt pick. Do you remember those?
Yep, absolutely.
I still have some.
Yeah, you have to have a Fender.
You have to have a Fender bass.
You have to have
nothing.
it.
It's like if you have a toolbox, this is your most important tool.
Anytime there's a session, I'm going to bring maybe 2 or 3 basses.
That's what I do.
This is the first. A song I'm famous for is "Forget Me Nots." I did with this bass.
I've heard of it.
I think you heard of it. Done on this Fender bass, and it just has that sound.
You know what it's going to sound like. You're confident when you sit down with that. You're not going, oh, I should have brought. Yeah, that's it. That's the sound.
And this is what producers and engineers expected to see was this bass.
Yeah.
Our instruments in this P bass have made a lot of records.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of great records.
Yeah. My first recording was in 1972, and I've been playing P basses since. So it's 2026, 54 years. The recording process, whatever it is, it's now mostly 99% digital. But when we're going to tape, the tape likes this. It's just what a bass is supposed to sound like.
Absolutely.
Right.
That tight low end.
Yeah.
With some of that mid range in it. Yeah. It cuts through the music.
And you can hear it.
And it's still full. It keeps things keeps things together.
This always records well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I don't care what it's strung with or what music it's on.
That's true.
Country, jazz. I mean, the other thing I got turned on to was surf music. When I was about 12, I went to the first international surf fair. Walked into the lobby of the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium, and in the lobby, not on stage, in the auditorium, was the Beach Boys playing.
Okay.
And they already had 2, 3 big hits, Let's Go Surfing Now. Those guys all had the matching Fender and guitars. And I stood this close to Brian Wilson.
Okay.
Because they were just on the floor, kind of like you were at a party or something. Just walk right up to them. They were singing those beautiful harmonies.
Wow.
But he also had that white P bass.
Yep,
and
I
it sounded
remember that.
incredible. They all had matching white Fender amps, and they played kind of quiet but with authority, powerful. They were incredible. The way they sang. So I went P bass. And I didn't play yet, but I was really drawn to the sound.
Yeah. And this instrument in the right hands, it's magic.
It's magic, and it really has no limits.